Yo! Today we're going to talk about why stretching your ankles is a terrible idea. Many of you either have done or still do this sitting position that I'm demonstrating here. And this is the most common way to go about stretching out your ankles. Now what this is designed to do is to stretch out this top part of the ankle. The consequence to that is that you are, over time, shortening the Achilles tendon. And while that may be beneficial for sports like swimming or dancing, it is extremely detrimental to long-term health and efficiency of a running stride. This type of stretching leads to two of the most common running injuries: plantar fasciitis and Achilles tendonitis. Because as we just demonstrated, when you are stretching out the front of your ankles, you are at the same time shortening that Achilles tendon and shortening your plantar. In addition, that type of stretching causes what's known as foot drop. Foot drop is a term in running when on the recovery, somebody's toe ends up pointing down towards the ground, thus impacting the ground well before the heel. I'm not going to get into the big differences between heel strike or midfoot or forefoot, but foot drop is an extreme version of a forefoot strike. And what that causes is the plantars, the Achilles, and the calf to have to eccentrically contract and absorb a ton of impact that they wouldn't otherwise have to absorb in a more neutral foot position. So if you are a former swimmer or a former dancer trying to play just about any other sport and you are struggling with plantar fasciitis issues and or Achilles issues, I implore you to stop doing that stretch because it's not going to do anything but harm your progress. The good news is that by stopping that stretch and by stretching the Achilles and by taking care of the plantars, over time you can reverse some of the damage done. But I can't tell you, it's in the hundreds of people I've worked with who are transitioning from swimming to running, and the root cause of all of their injuries is hours and hours as a kid spent sitting on their feet. And even if you're not an athlete who's dealing with this, but you have a young kid in a swim program, recognize that unless they're going to swim in college and get a college scholarship, sitting on their feet and stretching out the front of their ankles is going to be a long-term detriment to them wanting to play any other sport outside of swimming. So please reconsider doing this stretch at all unless swimming high performance, a very powerful kick, is of the utmost importance to you. Because like I said, there are long-term negative effects from having a very floppy foot or stretched out front of the ankle.